Done, yeah? I hope you carry this over there. Yeah? Yeah, that's cool. We're good. Yeah? Yeah, man.
What's a roach and scatter? What's a roach and scatter?
Sorry, let the mic get in, sorry.
Hey! Nah, that must be. No, but hear what I'm saying. Now that you know. So now that you know, yeah?
Ali Giso.
Oh, Ali. Now that you know, it's for all colour youths. Do you agree that you won't need to interrupt and try and undermine any pro-black discussions and movements?
Sorry, what's your question?
Right, let me say it again. Now that it's been established.
Bring the mic.
Right. Now that we've established and you've heard, and no gang member here has contradicted me when they are saying and when I'm saying gang is for all different colour youths. They're not interested, it's not about the colour, they want the youths them to stop killing each other, stabbing each other and so on. Yes?
Yeah.
That's been made very clear today. Do you agree or not? Do you agree that's clear?
Sorry, say that again?
Do you?
Man's not listening.
Right. Today in this conversation,
Yes.
it is very clear. Is it or is it not?
Yes,
that
it is
gang
clear.
are brilliant.
Right.
So therefore, when it comes to gang, that is a movement for all coloured youths.
Okay.
However, our brother here, he has his own thing, which is exclusively for blacks.
Yeah.
So,
Content over everything.
do you have any other issues? Because we're talking about gang, so you agree that gang is a brilliant thing for all colour youths.
I agree that it's a good thing that's for all the youth. I agree with that. But that's something different from what he's doing. That's something different from what he's doing. His thing's different.
But his thing's not gang.
Yeah, I know it's not. But that's what I'm saying. You're conflating the issues because we're having a separate discussion. Before he
You were
came
talking
along.
about gang.
Before he
You,
came, no.
brother.
We already started. You're conflating the issues. It wasn't exclusively about gang. That was.
No,
we
that's
weren't
fine.
talking about
That's
gang
fine.
at all, actually.
That's fine.
We weren't talking
But
about
you
gang
brought
at
up
all.
gang.
The only reason
You
gang came
explained.
up- The only reason that gang came up was because we were speaking about the police and cops of the ops.
Yes.
You understand? That's why gang came up. So let's not act like me and him were standing
No,
there talking
no,
about
so
gang.
gang.
That
So
wasn't
the gang
case.
issue's sorted now, because you've said when you first saw gang, you thought it was black and
Is it gang that say cops of the ops though?
Yeah,
When you're talking about man running around talking about cops of the ops, is it gang?
Yeah, it is.
Talking about.
It's
Okay,
gang
so it
that's
ain't
a
us that said gang, it's you that's inferring gang.
No, I'm saying to you, that's how the conversation went from one subject to another.
Was the topic cops of the ops?
That's how the conversation changed
Do you-
from...
okay.
Raven, do you remember the subject matter?
Don't get
So-
defensive. No one's trying to attack you. No one's trying to attack you.
The reason why we're here is you approached me after talking to the two Muslim
Relax,
sisters.
Stop thinking you're under attack. You're not under attack.
No one thinks
You're
that,
not under
bro.
attack.
Please.
You're
You ready?
acting like you're
Please,
very-
Would you like me to do like a back catalogue of why we're here today?
Raven, can you please
Shall I do a back
tell me
catalogue
what
of
that
why we're here?
conversation
To
was?
the repertoire.
A back catalogue. So I go back, so let people know why we're here. yeah?
No, I don't. What are you talking about? Why
Well,
you
if you listen, I'll let you know.
Why are you here today? So nothing to do. I don't talk about your black thing.
No,
I'm not here to talk about that. I don't
About
wanna
his
hear
black
about
what? About his black what? What did he say?
wanted to know what he does. No,
About his black what?
One voice.
You don't want to hear about black Batman?
No.
That's what he just said. He just said he don't want to
You just said you don't want to hear about
I don't
black
wanna hear
Batman.
about that. No,
That's what he said.
Hold on.
I don't wanna hear about that.
I thought you said it was a good thing.
No.
I thought you said it was a good thing.
Family, there's
Yeah, but it's
confusion.
not something that I'm
This
involved
is
in. I don't
confusion.
wanna
You don't want to hear
Confusion
about
upon
the black
confusion.
youths and their
I don't want
betterment.
to hear about black Batman building.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. No, but we're not talking
Are you
about that.
serious?
Me discussion with you about black Batman.
We're
You
not
have
talking
black
about
children.
As you said
No, but we're not talking about that, are we? We're saying the reason why you're here today, you're talking because I was talking to two Muslim ladies about black women, and you came and you asked me a question. You said you made a comment on YouTube, and my comment was that if you haven't helped your own community, how are you going to help our community, right? So it's asking what he's done for his community, and if he's done nothing, how is he going to help our community? And then you start saying my community is London and the world and the universe. So that's
I
what you
didn't say the London, the world, and the universe. You misquoted me again.
What did you say? Just because I was
I
wrong.
said my community is my local community in London, as far as I'm concerned. London
Okay.
is my community.
All right.
I didn't say nothing about the world.
Okay.
So stop making things
Okay.
up.
All right.
Stop making things up. to try
I
to
was
make me
practicing
look bad.
deception then.
But
Okay,
that's
cool.
called being what? Disingenuous.
Yes, I was practicing deception. So let's backtrack and London,
So
right?
stop being disingenuous.
Right. I was wrong, you were right. Now shall we continue?
No.
What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about?
It's quite good.
Well, I think me personally, you have a speaking difference, and anytime I see people who are identified or identify as black, there seems to be similar confusion. I think there's something going on in your brain computer that makes you interpretate words as directly against you or something you stand for. Yeah, and that's why there is nothing fruitful from our conversations. what I'm saying?
He's overtly
I'll say the same
anti-black.
thing about you.
He said, I don't want to hear
I'll say the same
about
thing
black
about
betterment.
Now, do you want to talk about something?
I don't know what the
Or do
hell
you
kind of
just wanna
Muslim
come
would
with
say.
your false allegations?
I don't want to
Or
hear
your
about
false
black
accusations?
betterment.
Of course.
So, well, I do know what kind of Muslim, but people don't want me to say it. You'll know what I'm talking about. SSMB. I won't say the thing. You know what I mean? No, because I had
none of
agreement
that,
with some
none of
brothers, Rasbacks and the shit. But you know what I'm talking about.
Do you have any questions you want to ask? Because the thing is, you could be part of the community. Hold on, family. One time. You could be part of the community, but you're the one who's pushing yourself away. Yeah. Rather than like stand from the sidelines, you could be in front doing stuff, innit? But you're not part of that. But you're not part of the mandem,
I'm doing stuff.
innit? You're not part of the mandem,
I'm doing
innit?
stuff.
Well, I'm saying you're not part of the mandem, innit?
I'm not part of what?
The mandem. You're not
What
part of
mandem? What mandem?
this mandem. You're not part of it.
I'm not part
Yeah.
of my own mandem.
That's
Thank you
good.
very much.
Oh, well,
Exactly. Be part of the mandem.
Exactly.
You get me?
But then why you talk to us? Why you talk to us about what we're doing?
I come up here because I saw you push the Somali on you, and I wanted to come down here to make sure no one ain't no Muslims. That's why.
And now
That's why I come up
now
here.
you've been successful.
Originally, that's why I come up here.
Okay.
But now everything's calmed down. I'm thinking I might as well spend my time doing something constructive,
Like,
like trying to build with other
Like
people.
disrespecting black betterment.
Would you come on the
Disrespecting black
when did
betterment.
that change, mate?
Oh, my
You
word.
can-
Why
when
you
did you
ask me a
change?
question and not answer it? If you're gonna ask a question,
When did you change from that?
So what I'm thinking, while I'm standing around looking after my brothers, I might as well do something constructive while I'm up here. And the only other people that I'm seeing do something.
There's a Somali.
Say what?
Yeah, so there's a Somali gang member here.
Yeah.
There's another Muslim member here. So there's nothing against Muslims. They just had an altercation themselves.
No, at that time they did.
No,
At that time they did. No, because they were aligned with Sarah and them, man.
Not Muslim.
One second. Let's stop.
Aligned?
Let's stop.
Who is
Let's
aligned?
stop. Let's stop.
Who is aligned with
That
Sarah?
was personal.
What you saying about the Sarah?
One second. Let me
You're making your own story up,
yeah,
fam.
maybe I don't know if you're aware of the history, yeah? There were some other guys here, Sarah and some other guys that were dissing the Quran and they were dissing the Muslims, yeah? So what happened is them man that was saying F Allah, F the Quran and all that kind of stuff there and calling the Prophet ﷺ the P word, them man originally, Respect and also him I think, but definitely Respect, initially came down to back them man.
Okay.
Them man that were dissing Islam, they came down to back them man.
Back then from what? Like, from
Back them.
Did he know that
As in
though?
have their man's back.
no one hurting them, innit?
Have their backs.
Man them, innit?
Sarah came to, Respect came to have Sarah's back
None of them came and made the same
and
mistake as what Sarah was
and,
making.
and back up what Sarah's on, yeah?
He made Sarah apologise, innit? Is it?
So he wanted to bring black betterment. He wanted to bring peace to the issue. What's wrong with that?
Listen to what I'm saying to you.
Black betterment.
Listen to what I'm saying to you, yeah? These lot were backing the guys that were trying to oppress Islam. Yeah?
Oppress Islam.
No way.
Oppress Islam. Okay.
Chat, you're going deep, man.
Okay. We've identified you as speaking difference. You're constantly demonstrating this. There's no value to what you're saying.
I don't even understand what
There's
you
no
mean by
value.
What do you explain speaking difference?
Basically, we're using one word and he's interpreting something else.
Why is man acting like they don't know about the
That's the
history?
interpretation and
Don't act like you
comprehension.
don't know about the history.
Listen,
Don't act like
the
you
words
don't
we're
know.
saying.
Not different.
Listen, it's a different.
Don't
Well,
act like you don't know about the history.
Interpretation and comprehension deficient.
look at what he just said. Look at what he just said.
What's he saying?
Look what he's saying. Yeah?
What did he say?
He's saying there's a plot against Islam. He's going somewhere
There's a
else.
plot against Islam. You think?
I wouldn't know what he's
By
doing.
who? By gang? I'll tell you what.
Ask him what he's
They could have took advantage of my
we have,
position.
I came down nothing to do with Sarah, nothing at all. So not on my name, yeah? One person you're talking about. Respect one person.
But that was your brethren, though.
I didn't know Respect before he came down. I didn't know Respect before he came down. You don't know what you're talking about, man. Stop making assumptions. It's not true. We're telling you it's not true.
He did a whole year to research, man.
Since we got
We're telling you
Rat
it's
Raven
not
here,
true. That's not
Whole
true.
I
year
wanted
research,
to-
man. He couldn't find out the truth.
When I see a brother violate my Somali brother, listen, when I see someone violate my Somali brother, I came down for that.
why is he your brother? Why is he your brother?
Did you pull up your brother?
Why is he Somali?
Putting his hands on Jedi, did you pull him up?
Why is he your brother?
That's why I came down.
Why is he your brother?
He violated my Muslim brother.
What? Because he's Muslim.
Jedi never went out
If
his
he
way,
thinks
man.
like a terrorist, he's still your brother.
If he's Muslim, I'm not judging him on anything else.
So even if he thinks like a terrorist and he promotes
I
terrorism.
didn't ask him
Okay.
that. I just see someone push a Somali Muslim, and I said, I'm not standing around and having that. I'm coming down.
So the
to
man,
watch
the Muslims that were there, one of them said, this is where it's leading to.
Same way you came down when he started saying something about
See the
Pakistan.
agenda we're talking about. None of the brothers they have that agenda.
Say what?
See the agenda you
No,
think
at
they
that
have?
time.
Okay.
Where were you? I don't
He took my history.
I never saw you. Where was you then?
Rat Raven, I wanted to talk to Rat Raven about some issues.
There you go then. You don't know what happened.
Has that been clarified? No, I see down on YouTube though. Has that been clarified?
They were violating Muslims.
A push, as a push violated. Come on, man, you're having a bubble here.
So what's the value of this conversation?
That's a violation. That's a violation, yeah. So what, if that was your plug brother, what
Excuse me.
Don't get you on that.
That would have worked. That'd have been like the little Spanish man.
You thought that was a big deal. The Somali running didn't think it was a big deal.
I didn't even. That's my little brother. That's my little brother. You know what I mean?
Oh, you like it was.
Okay, he's defending.
Bro, let me ask you a
That's my
question. So
little
you
brother.
came
That's how I
down,
see
so
things. I
you
don't
came
know
down,
it.
so
Someone's
you
trying
came
to
down
violate a
to
Muslim.
aggravate the situation.
Yeah, to escalate it.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? That you came
You're
down
practicing segregation.
You came back to bring peace and love.
Did you come to escalate it or what? Because there was
didn't
no
come to
big,
escalate,
you know
no.
the way you think it was.
They continue to talk
Yeah, it
afterwards.
won't be.
They continue to talk
Exactly,
afterwards.
so I don't even know what you watched.
Was you
I
there
didn't
that
come
day?
down to escalate it more. What I did is I came down to make
Was
sure
you there? Was you there?
No, I wasn't there. I saw it on YouTube.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is you only see certain parts, brother.
Yeah, so let me tell you what happened.
There
Let
and
me tell you
then.
what happened after, didn't it?
Soap drama.
I'll tell you what happened after. So it wasn't only me, you know. Other Muslims saw it on YouTube too. Certain Muslims came down, and our sole purpose was just to make sure that nobody violates the Muslims. That's it. Not to start nothing.
That's
Not to
cool.
start
That's
nothing.
cool.
Yeah, that's
So there's bare Muslims, one individual that done something got pushed, and it's anti-Islamic according to you.
I told you,
Very
I told
interesting
you, not
topic.
speaking.
Man was in his personal space.
We keep saying speaking, it's not just speaking, bro, it's comprehension.
Yeah, but I'm being very generous. I'm being very generous with my words.
I'll
be very generous with my words.
Translation of Rap Raven's words, he has comprehension and understanding problems and deficiencies. Okay, I need to translate.
Convenient. If convenient. Man came down for me and got himself in an argument with me. I had no idea who he was. Yeah. You're watching me.
You know what was a bit weird though?
I didn't say I come down for you.
Yeah, because you said you got
I thought you were
Muslims in the
talking
black
about
belt.
me.
Of course.
Tell him that, and they're black as well.
But he knows.
And he's just dismissed them like that. That's wicked, bro.
So you don't like the fact
That's
he wants
wicked.
to
He's
make
got
the
Muslims
situation
in
of
there.
black Muslims better.
Thank you.
That's very interesting.
Don't get drawn
But
out.
he wanted to
Don't
come
get
and
drawn
defend a black Somali Muslim. He's here for black betterment, and that Somali is black. But you said you don't care about black
But you
betterment.
said, yeah, you do.
So you actually lied on when you say you come down here for that reason.
Eat your words, because you said that I'm racist and I don't like black people.
No, but you're proving that's wrong.
But you
then.
said you don't want to hear
You
about
just
his black
dismissed
What I
belt.
said is you have a speaking
Brother.
difference. The claim I made is me and you have a speaking difference.
speaking- I'm
So I'm going to
speaking
say
English.
banana, you're going to hear carrot cake. Yeah? That's what it
Comprehension and understanding
is. I don't think you
deficiency
understand what I'm saying.
is what I say.
What
You say.
exactly are you saying?
I'm saying that me and you have a speaking difference, right? And you
Apart
seem,
from that, what you
your
say?
emotions seem to take over.
Him and any pro-black person seems to have
Yeah, your emotions seem
speaking
to take
difference,
over.
you say, bro.
And it's very tragic. It's very tragic.
Okay.
Your emotions
Can
seem to
I
take
can
over
I deal with
your
the issue? I wanted to talk to Brother Rap Raven
Go ahead.
about certain
Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm fine
certain
with
terms.
that.
That's fine.
Okay, well, that's one person.
Have you noticed though?
I have noticed.
He's got issues now.
Yeah.
He ain't got issues with gang anymore. With everyone. But with his black. Ooh, I don't want to hear it.
We
You
shouldn't
know what I'm
be
saying?
talking colour anyway, man. Gang's not about colour.
No, but it's not about gang. No, I'm saying the brother's still got his thing. Yeah, his is black betterment, specific. Yeah, but
Love
I'm
that.
saying he don't have no issue with gang anymore.
Can't put someone else's house out if yours is burning, man.
You said you would.
Remember that.
I've never had no issue with gang. I've never had no issue
But anyway,
with gang.
can I bring up a subject to you?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Bro,
The
you should know
issue
we're
I
not like
have
that, bro. You should know we're not
With my
racist.
brother
we're
Rap
not.
Raven
No, you're not. I'm not. I'm just saying. I think you don't
is this
understand.
term white supremacy.
All right.
Okay? It comes from America, generally, and it relates to our black brothers and sisters in America and their experience of a specific anti-black culture in relation to clear-cut white, oppression, right? Now, I'm saying for us to take it on, particularly us in the UK, and for even those in America now in 2018 and so on, is problematic because it does not call to our mind that there are many others, as demonstrated by him and many others, that are against us. So we automatically think, right. But we don't realise that there are people, I think Afghani, right? And I'll say Sunni, but you know what I mean? For the Sunni brothers that are cool, you're cool, and the Sunni brothers in gang, you're cool, right? But in general, the Pakistani Sunnis, the Bangladeshis, the various others who have a vehement hate for us in their culture. So in other words, you're back home, they would treat us much worse than the white people, even in America. So I suggest, if you can, please stop using the term white supremacy. You had Hinduism. Hinduism been there for 2,000 years. You've not been hating black skins, though. You can't.
We hate our own skin, bro. There's people back home trying to look white.
I agree. That's my whole point. So imagine how you see us. That's
You're
exactly what I'm
agreeing,
talking
you're
about.
agreeing.
So I'm saying, please, can you promote the term instead of white supremacy, because it distracts us from those other people, anti-black, which allows us to be thinking of all different types of people. who are within themselves, their very language, their culture, their history, anti, and I mean proper anti-black. You get me? We're in, for instance, a marriage thing, or even whatever. Bruv, they have this thing for him. What I'm saying is, there's many white people in this country, parents, whose daughter had a black boyfriend. They had an issue with it. Then a youth come along, all of a sudden they soften up, then another 5 mixed race youths, and the grandparents are now loving off them youths. They're no longer, let's say, overtly racist. But I'm saying what I've seen amongst Pakistanis, Bangladeshis and so on, is you're disowned. You not call our kids and and whatever else. If they didn't put the girl in a suitcase and whatever else.
The truth is, bro.
You know, what I'm saying is, I deal with the psychology, right?
I agree.
Brother, wait. So, I'm saying,
when it comes to empowerment,
listen what he, wait, stop. He said stick to their own. Listen, stick to their own, beautiful. Listen to what he said. No, see, he says he's a Muslim. He says he's a Muslim, and Islam is totally 100%
Are you not
against
for black people sticking to black and marrying black?
Right. This is what I said. This is what I said about the deceit.
I am for Pakistanis marrying.
This is what I said about the deceit of Sunnis.
I don't know what he's on, bro.
You understand? So what I'm saying to you is, what I'm saying to you is, the term white supremacy. I'm glad he said what he said. But anyway, so he's down with the suitcase, chopping up the poor girl. Look.
Someone like them, innit, bro? They don't want to
He's down with the what?
He's down. I said that some of their girls end up in the suitcase, and that's when he come in and started to justify it. But anyway, as I'm saying,
the thing is, I'm not looking outside the community for solutions, isn't it, right?
Not solutions. Not solutions. I'm saying, let me say it again. The term you use, is white supremacy. No, it's not that at all. It's listen.
But I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying about the white supremacy.
I do not want anyone to try and misconstrue this. I'm saying for instance, all right, Tan, he ain't blooming Muslim. The Chinese people going into our land, our motherland. You think they're coming in there to benefit us? No, they bloody well ain't. So when we watching them blasted Bruce Lee movie or them blasted foolish Jackie Chan movie and softening your backside up to Chinese people, let them. Anyway,
white supremacy is a thing.
Listen, what I'm saying.
It's a thing, right? So, and it's a thing. So if you don't want to use it, we will use white supremacy where it needs to be used. But if you want to say anti-black sentiment,
listen, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying the harmfulness,
right?
The deficiency within the thinking of our people when you say it. It relates to an old stage. Right. I'm saying our battle now. For before, you didn't really have all these other people coming into our landmass. Right. I'm saying now we've got attacks from all others on a global scale.
So you're saying when we speak, can we use the term
anti-black,
cool,
and then put in all the different colours,
even with
all
the
these Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Japanese. Yes, come on camera. You see how wicked Jedi is? Jedi wicked enough.
Come on.
Jedi wicked. No offense. No, listen, me not give to hell. I care about my black people then. So no offense to you. But if you're I don't know where you're from, but I'm saying wherever I found the culture of the Chinese people has been anti-black. So as long as there's a dominancy amongst your culture of anti-blackism, you will take the damn label as anti-black from me and any brothers that are empowered into resurrecting our people and producing black betterment. Okay. There you go.
Do you feel that what he said is right about you, your country or anything? What you saying?
Do you think a lot of Chinese people are racist?
The culture.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They will kill me.
We got your back, man.
We got
what?
You see that? When Isa, the great black intellectual Muslim, speaks, the law says them to come forward. Thank you very much. Anyway, so I'm saying, here you got Chinese over here. So that's Tan's enemy. She just knocked Tan straight out the goddamn planet. So now we had Pakistani behind me, and he confirmed, stick to your own. So I'm saying to you, black people ain't got no friends on this planet. We have to. I'm telling you. Listen. I'm saying racially, as a whole race, groups. In other words, I'm talking about Pakistanis as a whole. In other words, you couldn't go to Pakistan. I am black, and I am staying black. Brother, he can talk what the hell he wants. He can come over here if he wants to. Really?
One time.
Right, so as I was saying, the term on the psyche. Because I've seen how when people talk, when I'm discussing, and they talk white supremacy, they clear cut are not thinking on the various other levels. In other words, they be thinking, well, the brown people are our brethren. forgetting that the brown people, they'll be your brethren when you got the same enemy. As soon as they could jump off that train and do for themselves, it's like, see you black man.
So I
see you
practice black betterment building, right? Which is black people working with black people to find solutions for black issues, right? So because of that narrative, because of that narrative, it doesn't matter about any other people groups, because the solution we're looking for is going to come from the group that's identified it, right? So black people come together to work on black issues.
Yes.
So I don't need to talk about Chinese, Japanese, or any kind of needs, because the solution is going to come from within. Yeah.
Brother, do the people have to interact with these other people? If you're on an island and there's only black people, that sound good. But I'm saying hear what I'm saying. For instance,
if you're talking about trades, you're talking about brethren and playing video games, so be it. But I'm talking about coming together to work on actual solutions.
psyche. For instance,
that's a different thing, isn't it?
For instance, if you have Muslims, let's say in your group, which you have,
which we do have,
they can be influenced via their deceit that they have, that these other people are their brothers.
Okay.
Right? And I'm saying until you outline that you people don't have any collective national or racial friends in these people because they have a dominancy of anti-blackism within their culture. That's number one. And number two, they do not have a big movement trying to remove anti-blackism in their culture. So when you have those two things, they're labeled anti-black and they're dangerous to black betterment.
All right.
So please, I mean, you might not take on my advice, but I'm just saying, why would you use the term white supremacy when you have people that they got their foot around the accelerator? Because the collective of white people of the UK, from my experience, you know, they've kind of backed off on that thing.
Right.
I've seen white people bang out other white people for being racist.
Right. So my strategy is to not talk about non-black people.
But you do. You use the term white supremacy all the time.
No. So when I talk here, there's no way I'm just talking. I want to start talking white supremacy, right? I literally talk about blacks doing for blacks, right?
Yep.
That's what I talk about. If white supremacy comes up, it's because it's a question that's been asked and I have the answer to it, right? But it's not my focus. Although you can't live in a world like this and not know about structural European domination, aka.
And what about the others? This is what I'm saying.
So
you see what I'm saying? You can't talk about it. So I'm saying to you,
we have said that you have like white supremacist sympathizers, right? Yeah. Because no matter what, there is no people group that dominates amongst the European dominance. So even if you've got all these people coming up, right, they're still going to sit under the white supremacy structure.
Listen to what I'm
That's
saying.
how it works.
If they use as these little buffers and these little middlemen against us,
okay,
how the hell are you going to say, you know, I'm going to forget about the middleman?
I don't like talking about non-black issues, but let's use Tan for example, right? Tan clearly was like a proxy for certain people who couldn't actually have their views.
Yes.
But he came out, and then you can use him like, see, we're not racist because he's a non-white, but he's still saying this kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen this being practiced by so many people in it, right? Using non-white people to utter.
Let's say they're not using him. Let's say him and his people, as that lady just said, their people are actually like that, and we see that demonstrated in our land.
Right.
So what are you saying? I'm saying they have the agenda.
Then we'll use the term anti-black sentiment, if that's the case. Yeah?
Listen, I'm saying from the get-go, right? Your youth has to understand that there is this force against you amongst all these different people. Anti-black. Don't be confused.
That should be a
standard. The ones that are against you.
That should be a standard, yeah. That the black solution is going to come from the black collective.
Not the solution, brother. I'm talking about your attack. Defense, bro.
Right.
Because I'm saying we interact with various people of all different races. Yeah, but so I'm saying because you have to remember how they're raised, you know.
Like I said,
some of them are raised.
Everything I run is black centered, right? Black people work in the solutions within the black collective because it's a black issue, right? There's a value in that. So you're not going to hear me talk about non-black people in that reality. Right? Unless we're talking about things we need to talk about, like people oppressing us or confusion and stuff.
Yeah,
but
so
generally,
it's from anything you're talking about.
Well, no. What I'm saying is that what I focus on isn't white supremacy, isn't anti-black sentiment.
Let's say somebody wants to buy a big piece of land.
Okay.
They want to have a building on there. Right. They want to have plantation and all of this stuff.
Okay.
Let's say someone who's not black wants the same piece of land.
Right. Okay.
Let's say they used to be friends.
Okay.
Do we not have to watch how they are linked to the power structure over us? And start thinking ahead and saying, you know what?
The challenge
can I actually trust these people that are my brethren when it comes to the crunch of opposition?
Black people.
What would they do?
Hold on. When you're trying to find solutions, black people being dedicated to helping black people whenever it's constructively possible is the solution we push, all right? If someone chooses to uphold that, that's them. If they choose not to, like I said, it's too much of a challenge to go through and break down how people are thinking and what they do amongst a massive collective, innit, yeah? But there's certain
white supremacy, that's massive as hell.
But what I'm saying is amongst black people, right, this is what we push in it. There's a value in black people being dedicated to help black people whenever it's constructively possible. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Well, there you go. So that is.
I'm saying to you, while you might be thinking you're helping this black person,
Right.
you might be dedicating your time and so on, and then you find that they're actually getting you entrapped into something which is actually going to destroy what you have and what you've built with them.
Yes, you said
Because
it
they're
before,
not
yeah.
actually thinking
What
with what you're saying as
what is the solution to that challenge you've just
Okay,
given?
I'm saying
Right.
to identify
Right.
what black is and how it is in a realistic global situation where more than just the whites are against them. There might be this white structure, but I'm saying within that white structure, there's many that use that for their benefit
Right.
against us.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm
Which we
saying
agree.
psychologically, I'm saying a lot of these people that hear the term and they keep using white supremacy
Right.
seem to align themselves with brown people and
Oh,
others.
I agree,
Yeah,
okay.
and they're like, yeah, my brethren,
I'll
and
agree
let's
with
fight
you.
together
I'll agree
with the racist whites and the rest of it.
I'll agree
You
with
get me? And I'm saying, hold on a minute, they're only fighting, and once that's gone, then they're going to kick your backside too. And if the whites were against you, and when they were, they sided with them.
So
Ain't that the same for black people that subscribe to the powers as well?
What, the raccoons? Well, the coon word I'm not supposed to use, so raccoons, yeah, sorry. Go on.
well, yeah. So I can agree with you, but once again,
I'm saying that's, but I'm saying
okay.
those are on the boat of black empowerment.
If your goal is to keep black people cautious and to let them know that they have no allies collectively, I agree 100%.
And I'm saying the term
Right. Okay.
that
Well,
will allow them to be cautious of everyone else is anti-black.
well, I'm happy. I'm happy.
But you would do, because it's not to your benefit. You can take advantage of black people if you want.
Tell you what is to my benefit. I never took advantage of no one in my life.
Not you personally. That's what we're talking about
My
collective.
country's never conquered me.
But what are you talking about? We're talking about every day. Right, so when in the 60s and 70s, in the 60s and 70s, oh, we're getting there. You said when? When you said when, it's in the past, yes? No, you said when. When you said when, you include history.
Let's talk about 60s and 70s. We weren't born then. Let's talk about now. What's happening now?
You said when, so I'll answer the question of when. In the 60s and 70s, when there were major racial issues, the Asians united with the blacks against the racist whites. When that problem was kind of eased down, a lot of the whites joined up, sort of the Asians joined up with the whites against the blacks.
Which Asians?
A lot of them. You want me to put their names?
The one that, what do you call it? Conform.
And even now, they join with them against us. But
Right,
anyway,
so the thing is, whether I agree or disagree, the thing is I tend to keep the narrative inwards, right? Because when you start talking about other people groups, the other people groups try to jump in with opinion and it's very distracting, right? As long as our focus is black people helping black people for solutions, we don't need to have this conversation. But you're correct that when you look around, there's many dominant peoples who are not of European descent, who are dedicated to keeping black people oppressed for whatever reason. And I agree with that. If you're saying when we conversate, let me use anti-black sentiment, then I will agree, I will support you on this initiative.
thank you very much. And that's for
Can I
all
ask
your
one
too. Thank
question
you
about
very much.
Raven, yeah? You know, in that year, like, how would you, could you give me an example of how maybe the Asian community has held black people back?
So, me personally, I wouldn't necessarily be interested in holding people back. What I can say is the Asian community should be dedicated to helping the Asian community, as I've seen demonstrated. And because of that reality, the black people have to be dedicated to helping the black community
so-
and not then try to help every other community except their own. Because as far as I can see, we are the ones who need the most help but receive the most help, right? Receive the least help. I should
Receive
say,
the
right?
least,
Yeah. So because of that, if we don't change our reality, no one else will.
That still
Yeah?
hasn't given me an example of when the Asians have...
Once
like
again,
you just said-
I
like
see.
you just said,
I don't have that narrative because it's a distraction, right?
If they help
As long as I'm
themselves,
inward looking,
that's what you're trying to
and
do too, right? You're trying to help yourself too.
Yeah.
So,
So what you're saying is, are you seeing communities of Asian people who have a culture of mistreating black people because they see them as your? Well, I've definitely seen that, and
none of them mistreating them.
the Asian
They
community.
might be racist, like they don't mix with them.
Okay, hold on.
As in
That's not
racist-
mistreating.
One second.
If someone's like culturally like they've never seen black people like in their life, yeah. Like, I'm talking about the first generation Asians, yeah. I'm not talking about me.
Okay,
I'm talking about the first
you're
generation,
demonstrating what we're
No,
saying.
you said don't go to history.
Let them
Let's talk
speak.
about now.
No,
Brother,
they're still
yeah,
alive.
let
They're still
them
alive.
say
They're not passed
speak.
away, are they? They're still here, right? The people,
Go
my parents are still
Go
here.
ahead, go ahead.
So my parents never interacted with black people, right? in
Black
their
people
life.
watch this.
They don't speak English, nothing like that, yeah? So they're not mixing with the black community. How is that holding the black community back?
So basically, what we're saying is, if there's a not mixing and there's that distrust, dislike, and actually, it's like if someone of an Asian community is in a power, right, and they're in a community where black people don't have that same kind of power structure, the black people will never be able to progress because the Asian community is always looking out for the Asian and distrusting the black and not wanting to associate with, right? So we can never get through that glass ceiling. Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, my emphasis isn't walking around telling Asians no to no to no to. It's to get black people to actually do for self.
Yeah, of course.
So that's why.
No, I agree with that totally.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you should.
Yeah.
I'm saying you should do that too.
But just so you know, that same concept you said, black people collectively don't display that distrust for other non-blacks.
There's
If
a lot of
anything,
black people that come to this country the same way, and they've never mingled with Asian people. or
so,
white
so,
people.
so when we have to define this term mingle,
don't even
right?
speak English
Hold on
and
for a
stuff
minute,
like
man.
that.
They don't
Well,
have
you
this
use the word,
Pakistani accent,
they
though.
stick to their own.
I haven't seen a collective of black people.
Well, you
who-
just got a problem with Pakistanis, but don't worry. Yeah,
well,
go on.
Because you're Pakistani, that's
Yeah,
why.
you can't handle us. innit? Go on,
I have definitely seen
carry on.
amongst
You don't know,
many.
you feel terrified when I come around.
I've definitely
brother.
seen
How do you
many.
mean? Get on the other side of the feet, the hell out of you
Hold on,
anytime.
family. I've
now
definitely
you
seen.
I'm
talking
not here on a
about-
religion tip. We're talking about
I said
culture.
refuse.
We're talking about cultural and racism.
On
kind of
culture,
thing.
that's
Yeah.
what that's the
So
subject.
I have definitely
I'll take you
seen
on any
from the
subject.
Asian community mistreatment of black people for being quote unquote black. I've seen it. I've seen it.
Well, like marriages or stuff like that. Or?
Either or, yeah, either or. But
Businesses,
marriages,
the whole damn lot.
opinions.
What kind of thing like businesses? What, they wouldn't give you a lease or something like that? Or?
Yeah. Might be
Okay.
something like that.
And they'll look out for their own?
Yeah, which
Which you're trying to do too now.
no, but the difference is we are reacting to how we have been treated. So because we have been placed in a position,
I'm
it's
just saying about
necessary to
Raven,
progress.
your end goal is for the black community to help each other itself, right? Keep everything in the community, right?
Well,
And you're saying the
because of
Asians
your
are doing that already.
anti-blackness.
Chill out, brother.
I'm chill as
I'm
hell.
addressing the guy in it.
I'm chill.
But listen, and because the Asians are doing that, that is somehow anti.
No, because we can't say every single Asian person. We're saying because racism has been
Somali.
practiced amongst non-black people,
Yeah,
it's
the
necessary
devil.
for black people to try to
Not
fix
forget Somali,
themselves.
but the devil.
And yes, Asian people have been complicit in practicing racism or anti-black sentiments towards the black. Okay.
There you go. See? And black people need to be
Yeah,
aware of that
see, from
beforehand.
my examples, what I've seen,
Beforehand.
no, but
No,
I
well,
can understand
well,
what you're saying.
There's not been
Because
discrimination.
the community where I'm from is Forest Gate, and we're mixed, bruv, diverse.
Well, just so you know, I was born in Forest Gate.
Yeah, but
I was
we're-
born in
so
Forest
you-
Gate.
there's not much
So,
discrimination
no,
I've
but
seen
I
in
was
Forest
born in
Gate.
Forest Gate, and I've been inside Asian houses, and I've heard what they've said.
What
Yeah.
they said?
Well, it's like your friend can't come in.
Why you bring the colour inside?
Yeah. So you've heard it. Okay. So once again, when we dig deep, we see the truth.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Forest Gate, born in
Listen to what I'm
Forest
saying.
Gate.
You're going on like these things don't happen. Like I'm saying these things don't happen. They happen, but it's like the majority is not like that.
Dominant.
Well, what I'm saying is,
Dominancy
I don't know.
is
but
anti-black.
You just said that in back home. Yeah.
I said my mum came to this
they have-
country
they
and
have
she can't
colorism
speak
in-
English, innit?
But they have
But she
colorism
can't mix
back
with no
home,
one. You
innit?
get me? She can only mix with her people.
They have colorism back home.
like I said,
Everyone wants to get lighter. Same as in Jamaica. Same as
the
in
most,
They don't. Not everyone in Jamaica.
Hold on.
bleaching themselves in
My
Jamaica,
speak,
bro.
bro. The most. Hold on, fam. The most. When I came here,
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that's the media, innit?
one at a time.
Colorism.
I try to get darker.
Are you man agreed already, you know? Because from what you said, like, you know what I'm saying? You said your team's not ready to say them man are being
Image in their head,
that is more to tell us.
When they
But
go
the
over
West
to
End,
here,
You get me? And he's saying, yeah, that home what? Like, so you're not competitive.
No,
But rather than it's like, man, what's something I say, yes, right, I don't know what
They
they
say
say.
So let's get one order. Let's get one order, family. Yeah.
Is he even on the TV? That's
Do you want to talk loud? So people, if you got something to say, let's say it loud. No, but yeah, but you're here.
No,
No, he was asking me something on the side. I didn't know if I was.
You're loud. But what I'm saying, you made a point, and what I'm saying, the most valuable thing non-blacks can do for black people, right? Yeah, is let us know when racism is being practiced in the
That's
community.
not Asians.
Yeah, and every time I've asked that, not one person has agreed.
Not Asians for saying that.
Oh,
shit,
no,
yeah.
not one non-black person, quote unquote, has come and said we're going to do that. They say you think I'm going to stitch my own people. And that's my
Bro,
point.
I hot up every Asian that I see any anti-racism.
Now, what I've said, the most valuable thing you can do is let us know because we don't know. We generally don't know. A lot of black people, a lot of black people generally think.
Nah, you're dark though.
Generally
I'm
think.
Pakistani, don't forget.
I'm saying, but you're still dark skinned.
Yeah,
I'm
that there's this kumbaya thing where everyone loves everyone and black people are not being mistreated, isn't it? Yeah. But when we're behind closed doors, we know the reality. That's not true, right?
Listen,
Yeah?
let me give you an example. Yeah.
Please give me an
Listen,
example.
all of this racism exists in it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Yeah. My dad is darker than me. You see me? And when see, like my dad's sisters are light skinned. Like they take the piss out of him. You get me? But it's not like they love him less. It's just like they tease him, innit?
Yeah, no,
You
but
understand?
still,
And that is conditioned through, like, brother, my country, in this subcontinent, over 200 years of colonization, right? We, like, our forefathers grew to think the white man is kind of king, you see me? So, like, these kind of things have been passed on, like, through generation to generation. But it's not in our, like, real culture
And
to be like
what
that.
is to be done
Do you
about
get
it?
me?
What is to be done about it?
Like, I was saying this earlier to people off camera. What is to be done about it? I'm not racist because I'm a first generation, but I grew up here. So now my kids, that's instilled in them not to be racist and that, innit?
And while you're doing
that's how it will
that,
change.
I'm telling the black community to do for self because we don't know who is racist.
Yeah.
When I ask communities to let us know the racist amongst you, no one comes forward.
So he's
right?
saying we're going to do our part, you man are saying you're going to do your part.
But but here I'm saying, let me tell you where I was arguing. Let me tell you where I was arguing with the fact here. What it was, they kept saying that because the Asians stick to themselves and are doing what they're doing with their own businesses and that, is somehow holding them back. And I was saying, brother,
That's what I thought. That's what I thought was. No. What was said is racism is being practiced by East Asian communities, right? Asian
Discrimination.
Yeah. So that's the challenge. And what I'm saying is, what's valuable is to let us know what's being practiced.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But as
And you
usual,
need
what
more
I
people
see.
like me to stamp it out in our own community as well when it happens.
Well, that's nice. But what I'm saying, what's more valuable from our perspective is to know. Yeah, because it's like this. If I say this term, if I say racism is getting better, you go, okay, that's good. But if I say raping is getting better, you go, whoa, hold on. You'll go, hold on a minute.
You know that he's a dickhead.
Hold on, let me speak. Let me give you an analogy again, right? If I say racism is getting better, you'll go, okay, that's good. If I say raping is getting better, you go, hold on, we need to stop raping it. But we seem to be okay with the concept of racism, which is actually including of rape, right? Right. So what I'm saying is, for me, I have a zero tolerance, right? If you're discriminating against Africans or black people because of who they are, where they're from, then there's no value to me.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So I have to look for the solutions amongst the people who are being mistreated. It makes sense to do that, innit? But once again, non-black people seem to be the most confused by this narrative, right? But not when they're amongst themselves.
Right.
You see?
That's what you were trying to say to Ali G sensitive.
Yeah. So that's
what you mean, like when the Asians are together in their own community, they're aware of this
Ali G
situation.
sensitive.
They know that they're like this. They're saying they know they're like this.
What I'm saying is, in any community, they know when they're practicing discrimination against other groups, right? Especially the black group, right? The only people who seem to know less about this is black people. We generally don't know. So I don't say what's valuable is let us know. Because you know what? My uncle, he's practicing racism all the time.
Yeah, of course, I get you on that. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, but I don't expect you to do it. But I'm saying that's actually a valuable thing.
No, it would be a good thing.
If I work in a company, right? And they come down and go, bruv, do you know that the boss? He every day he's making fun of black people.
You said the place you was born. You see where I'm from, like the same place, brother. It's like kind of a ghetto kind of place, isn't it? Like around there, brother, you can't really be open and racist. So these men are hiding in the shadows, isn't it? They're not open.
But that's not valuable to black people. That's
I'm just saying
because
these men are not
most
racist.
black people
They're hiding,
the black people generally think we live in a kumbaya state where everyone gets along and can't we all get along to get along.
But that's not real. No, but I still hear what he's saying in a way though, because imagine if a man's saying like there's some Muslims that are extremists, but my man's saying, bruv, they're not extremists to me though. Like I don't know that. I don't get an opportunity to see that.
Man might do it in their own little circle.
We can't talk about something we don't know. I can't expect you to like be a psychic, right? But I'm saying if you're ever around it, what's valuable to black people is you come back. You know what? All these guys, every time you leave the room, they're making fun of you, and then you think you got that promotion, ain't gonna happen. Right? You're gonna get your wages cut. Yeah. So that's valuable, isn't it?
That's understandable.
Right? But these are the things I ask for. But people keep talking about other stuff, innit? Right? So I want actual tangible things that can actually make sense. Until we get that, I'm saying there's a value in black people come together to work on their own solution.
I take that on board, bro. Tell that to the rest of the Asian community.
I tell it to every community.
Being racist,
I tell it every community.
Know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's just black people, from what my observation from being here, we generally do not think that way. The thing is, black people are not hanging around non-black people in that kind of capacity to actually understand what's actually being practiced. But amongst the black community, from what I've seen, we generally do not practice those kind of behaviors.
People don't really sit there and think like that.
No, we don't.
Say it again.
Black people don't collectively come together to think about ways to mistreat non-black people, right?
It's not in their nature.
Well, it's not in their culture.
I haven't seen it being practiced like that.
It's people's language and culture. Imagine Hinduism had a caste system based upon colour. It would have to be part of your culture and language for 2,000 years. Do you understand? So that's what they have, complexionism. And we're not even on the scale. We're below the darkest.
Yeah.
You get me?
This is very true.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We need to be wise to that too. I'm just saying the term white supremacy, white racist.
Yeah.
And then you got people much worse.
Yeah.
Well,
is it like eating noodle?
But you say worse, but are they more effective though?
They're not more effective.
You say worse, but are they more effective on the black community? Because say you're talking about, like, I don't want to start going into people like Hindus do that. I'm not really into that, yeah. But just like you're saying, are Hindus having more effect on black people than white supremacy?
I'm saying Hinduism. So those
but you're saying worse. I'm talking about. Are you talking about effect, or are you talking about?
What he was saying.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, what I'm saying.
The brown people are like in the middle.
Those people,
they get advantage and they're running it.
I'm saying those people, certain black men will take as their brother certain non-black brown people, even yellow people, as their brother, whether it be in Christianity, Sunniism, whatever. Yes?
Yeah.
Over black betterment building, black upliftment, black empowerment. Do you understand? And I'm saying once you let them see that these people latch onto a culture of anti-blackism. So it looks like you're on the same empowered journey until they get to a point where you getting forward is a harm to their people getting forward, and then they kick you off the bloody cliff, and then their people go up. Do you understand?
I hear what you're saying, but it's like you're saying them man are doing wicked, so we got to be wicked.
Where the hell did I say that?
No, I'm gonna say.
I'm saying we should be cautious.
Let me explain, yeah, because you're going like man shouldn't be able to treat a guy like man's brother because he's not black. Do you see what I'm saying?
Say that again.
Say he's not black, yeah? So you're saying people are treating people that are not black like they're brothers. You see what I'm saying? Over other people, because he might be more man's brother than a guy that's black, innit?
I'm saying individually.
You're saying because them man are doing it, that's
no.
what we need to do.
Let me explain something.
Okay.
I'm saying to you, I'm dealing with the reality.
But he's not pushing man off.
Brother, no. I'm dealing with the reality.
No, but what
The
you
reality of
saying,
experience.
some of the community is doing that.
Imagine if he's confirming what I'm saying and you're arguing against it.
Some of the community is like that. Some of the community is like that.
I'm saying to you,
older generation.
no, but even the young, brother, a lot of youngers from Birmingham and elsewhere, bro.
Yeah, but we talking London, man. I don't know
and
about
Bradford
them,
and I hear that.
You see the man's in Bradford and that. The way I look at them is that they're back in the 1960s. Like they're stuck in the time warp. You get me? They're different kind of people, brother.
Yeah, but
what I'm saying
if man did that, he wouldn't be here right now. If man did that,
you're talking about one individual, bro. I'm talking about
thousands.
thousands. I'm saying to you, bro, that there is a predominancy, where the black people are fooled into this brotherhood thing, right? And they feel that we're brothers, and we're going to share, and we're going to talk, and we're going to chat, and then when the Asians, let's say, have used the black man for whatever he wants,
what you did there,
jumps off.
You said Asians.
That's the minority.
You did individuals, because man might feel like he's my brother. Doesn't mean I feel like every other Asian's my brother.
You understand what you're saying?
You went from
you got to
me feeling
identify
like he's my brother, and then treating all Asians like my brother. That's what you just did.
This is what I'm saying. I'm saying be cautious. Because too many black people have had to learn the hard way. I'm saying if you grew up with him and you're young, and you banged out Asians together, you both banged out blacks together and whites because you fought together. I'm saying that's your brother. I'm saying there isn't even a colour thing between you.
But man shouldn't be cautious with black people also, no?
Bruv, listen to what I'm saying, but not on a racial thing. I'm saying to you.
What is the statistics here for the man them that these black folks take as brothers that kick them off the cliff? Because as far as I'm concerned, the man that's going to kick man off the cliff never even integrated in any kind of way for them to even be brother, to even see us as brother. Man, they keep man off the cliff because they don't integrate with man to that level. That's what I have experienced. Because if the friendship is genuine, like we've seen today, there's people that claim to have interest or whatever, but it's not followed through with any action. Whereas when you're taking man as a brother, that's usually off action, isn't it? Sentiment, action, blah blah blah. So then that's going to be the stamp of approval for us to have this brotherhood. It's because you actually fuck with me. If you help me in any way, shape or form, you're helping the black community. If you help me personally.
Right.
Because do you know what I mean? Or should I say a member of the black community. If you've got a brotherhood with them and you actually have good intentions for them, then you're actually helping them in some way. If your heart's pure. And if it's not, then they're probably not your brother anyway. So I hear what you're saying.
About a collective, yes. I'll give an example. Yes?
Give me an example of betrayal. That's what I would like.
Of what?
Of betrayal.
Of betrayal?
Yeah, because that's what you're talking about, the brotherhood, and then them pushing us off the cliff.
Okay. Let me give the example I was going to give, right? And then I'll go on to that.
I could give one, by the way. Because the answer,
give yours and go.
So just before I start, let me answer this way, right?
Actually, no. But if he can't give it, then
No,
everything he's saying is based on what?
Well, no, because
even if it's true, if he doesn't have an example,
I do. I do. All right, let me say what I was going to say.
His opinion.
Let me say what. No, Ravi. What it is, I don't want to specify certain things, but I'll just say it. Okay. Majority of black converts are black Sunnis, right? So I don't care who the hell don't want to hear it. I'm gonna tell it as it is, right? And when they converted and went to the masjid, they used to call the other black people kafir. So much so that they would curse, call dirty head Rasta this, your Selassie this, all kind of thing, because they now side with their Pakistani brother.
But that's against their religion.
No, listen what I'm saying to you. I'm talking about the mentality that they're a black man. They sided with these people, and there's so many converts, and they become Asianized in their mentality. Then gradually they notice that their brethren is starting to see them as lesser when it comes to certain issues of choice between them. When they differ on religion or whatever it is. No. I'm saying it could be, it's business as well. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying when they were going into businesses, they decided they wanted to do business with Asians rather than. So imagine you're rolling with a brother, day in, day out to the masjid. This ain't me, but I'm just saying what I know about. And it's been quite common, yes? and then you want to do business, but the brother finds himself, the Pakistani's doing business with someone else, but you're like, hold on, you hardly know them.
No, but that's not the trouble. Because if at the beginning,
that's not what?
If man said let's roll there, yeah, and at the beginning I'm bringing you in, and then I
you
stop
don't
bringing
bring
you
you
in.
in, yeah,
But if
yeah,
I was
yeah.
never bringing you in the beginning,
We're not
what's the
saying
majority?
the business. Listen to what I'm saying. No, just going mosque. You see what he just said? I didn't say just going mosque. I'm saying, brother, if you never converted, yeah, then you don't understand it. I'm saying when you convert, bruv, these are your brothers. I'm saying the feeling, especially of Afro-Caribbeans converting, as you're lost. Do you understand? And I'm saying this new bond of brotherhood, this visionary of, so much so you'll go and fight and die
Maybe
for their
Islam
bloody
is
cause.
not for you, he
Do you
said.
understand? It's not me, brother. It's Sunnis. I'm not Sunni.
Maybe it's not
but I'm
for
saying,
you, brother.
I know that's Sunni garbage. Anyway,
should go
Did you
back
convert?
to his days.
Are you
I was
talking
Sunni
about your
first.
experience?
Talking
When
about
you
Rivets.
No. I'm saying
Talking
me,
about
my
Rivets.
experience of others that converted. Yeah, because I left. But I'm saying what I've seen them. So for instance, those brothers that were tight with those Pakistanis and others, and now when I look at them, they're all split up now. You get me? Now they're on the black tip. They was arguing with me back then, over 20 years ago, when I was saying Prophet Muhammad was black, the original Islam, Arabic and so on, Arabs were black. Now all of a sudden, 20, 15 years, whatever later, they now want to tick. Why? Because them man, they turn on them. And they hear their true feelings.
Okay, yeah, that's your personal
And I'm saying, no, it's not my personal experience.
That's your experience.
Thousands.
Okay, that's your experience and not others.
And
yeah.
let me just finish the point. Let me just finish the point. I'm saying, if they had understood their black empowerment selves at the beginning, they would have united, whether Sunni or whatever else, back then, establishing black businesses back then, so the youth would not have grown up ignorant as hell and all these other problems in the black community through following these people that are not their brothers.
Okay.
Do you understand now?
That's a fair point.
So now, yeah, you've got this thousands of people's experience, yeah?
Yes.
So what if there's thousands of people's experience on the other side, where they grew up with a man that is from some other sect or something, and they are their brother? Does that now not make that also just as true?
Because the
you're
dominancy,
but in reality,
in your experience and the
Not
experience
my
of the people
experience.
that you've dealt with.
No, that's you really don't know about this.
Separate to the
Because
day-to-day.
we're not talking
No,
about.
I'm saying you said
I'm not gonna make that. But you know what? Do you know what? Do you know what I think? Issa, yeah? I think that that's more apparent when you convert and then you go into that kind of community that is more Asian or whatever dominated. Then you're gonna see that. But when you grow up with a brother, you go to school with him, and it's not till you're like 18 you realize, oh, what, you're a Muslim. Like you don't even, cause you know what I mean. And he's Muslim, and then you lot are like that. Inseparable. He has his belief. He practices.
I hear that. I hear what you're saying.
So what I'm
but
saying,
I've seen
that's
exactly.
different from listen.
Yeah.
So that kind of brotherhood is probably different from the one that's when you,
100.
I'm going into this religious institution and you're embracing me based on that. And there's more people of this
And
race or
normally
that
them
race.
man
But
become very
here's the
extreme
problem.
in the
Here's the
beginning,
issue. Islam deals with business. Islam deals with all these other different structures which they take advantage of for themselves, but don't teach the black man.
So what you saying?
Right?
You're
But
saying
not just that. The
anti-black is
example.
more like you're
I'm
talking
saying
about
what
religions.
the example
Because
the
you're not
brother gave.
But there's black
There's exactly the
Muslims, though. I
opposite.
don't know what
Where
you're
they've grown up
talking
together,
about. Don't tell the black
and you
man
reach a
what
certain age as a Pakistani, and you want to come
How
religious
many
now.
countries in
My
the
answer-
No, do you know what I hear what
He's
you're
a
saying?
Kafir. He ain't nothing anymore. All the experiences you had, you're a Kafir going to Jahannam.
I think we're on the same
You know what I
page.
mean?
We're on the same
I've
page,
seen that
right?
enough times
How many
too.
countries in Africa are Muslims?
Quite a lot.
Right, so are they not up for black betterment?
But hold on, before we get there,
Yeah,
it's
how
like
many
this,
countries in
right?
Africa are Muslim?
There's
Are they not up for
individual
black
experiences and collective betterment, right?
Or Muslim
So,
betterment.
yeah, well, so if me and
Probably up for
if
more
me and his
Muslim
brother grew up
Islamic
together,
than-
that's my brother, isn't it?
They're Muslim.
Oh,
Their
brother.
eyes Muslim are black.
Yeah,
like them.
yeah.
So
You
that
can
is
still
black
go apart.
betterment, brother.
Yeah, but we're talking about it, right?
So, like,
So you can have a tight
Nigeria,
brethren,
black
but
betterment.
it's like this guy's from Pakistan, right? Yes, but I'm not going to make institutions dedicated to helping Pakistani people. So even though me and my brothers, I might give him a Super Nintendo game, whatever it is, yeah, but I'm not going to make an institution dedicated to helping Pakistanis. But I am going to make an institution dedicated to help black people because we need it.
That's
Does that make sense, right?
Yeah.
So this individual stuff is just this and that, innit? But we're talking about collective betterments, innit?
Yeah, I understand.
collective.
But
betterment.
I'm talking about how we are seeing the other people in it here that are outside of the collective in it here. He's like saying that we can't have other people in part of our collective.
We can. Here's the answer. Right? No, let me ask because it's quick. We can. So once you've got your factory, yeah, and you grow your apples. Hold on, quickly. You grow your apples. You grow your pineapples. You trade with the brother. You see what I'm saying? You're empowered because you've got your own crop, your own land. You're growing your own pineapples, and you trade with the brother. You don't work for the brother. You have your own thing, and you hide your son, your mother, and your community, and then you actually trade on a level, on the equal ground. Yeah, not as a subservient person begging.
So what?
That's
I can't be
something-
partners with him though. Is that what you're saying? You
Well,
can't be partners.
No, he said you can't.
Well, I'm not saying
I'm saying you can.
Because it's equally going to benefit.
I'm
my
saying you
community
can
and
so
his
long as you're
partners.
empowered and
I'm
independent.
saying,
No, be a
As long as you're
if
empowered and independent.
he's your boy from school, yeah, and you
Just
grew
say
up.
I'm not, though.
I
Just say I'm not.
Well, then I would
Then what's the
recommend.
connection?
And he meets me for like a year or
This
something.
is what I'm saying. The connection.
Yeah, you're either trying. Yeah. Look,
I'm saying
we're trying to do something.
he
innit?
has
We're
to
trying.
be
We're
financially
trying
stable as
to.
you
We've
are.
recognised that black people have gone through a challenge, right? And we want to fix
That's what
it,
he's talking
innit,
about.
right?
Be a-
So if
you
you
can be a
don't try to help black
partner,
people,
but
it won't happen, innit? Right? That's what we're saying.
Like 50-50.
Yeah.
At the
Do you have a
moment,
black
we
friend?
can't be equal parts.
Then hire them.
But I'm not talking about. I'm
Nah,
talking
the
about
foundation ain't
Well,
set.
What if that black friend is not as good as his Asian friend?
Well, in that case, you've tried. You have to go to the way it's good, isn't it?
So this is my point where, because of the many problems we have in our community, where they would have been solved if at the beginning they approached the thing with black self-help, like all the rest. And I'm saying those others, whether consciously or unconsciously, make sure that you do not succeed. Aki, come this way, I'll do this.
Yeah, we know this. We know this. We know
Right,
this.
so I'm saying,
Yeah, and there's
you
many
say
stories.
we know this. I'm saying that until you step in the masjid with, this is an anti-black environment, until you make it a pro-black environment. Do you understand? Because I'm saying there's too many black people that converted this thing, and they've been hindrance. Didn't you hear Isa when he said what? He's been Muslim for like 13 years. And it's only 2 years now he's been on black empowerment. He was against me here when I used to say the Prophet black, who's your evidence, this, and now he's on it. I'm saying, what about if he converted 13 years ago? Where would he be? And imagine another 100, another 1,000 that converted 20 years ago when this big rush after Malcolm X movie come up. Do you understand? Where would they be now? Even though they watch the damn movie, they're still following these damn anti-black bloody whatever.
Well,
you understand?
Well, the goal is to practice black Bam, right? So if you have an individual friend, that's your individual friend. But I'm talking about the collective. So make institutions that benefit your community, yeah, or your
Does
people.
he understand what you mean by institutions? Though? Example.
Well, you make a school, you make a farm, you make something that is dedicated to help your community, yeah. Or you try to raise your you try to raise your actual.
This is the issue I actually have with some of the things you say. How is that actually practical in the mind of anybody when you say it right now, where they don't have to deal with a lot of the race issues, other people?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
I'm saying, let's say you want to get a school. Right. Yes? There might be issues where if you want to have a black school, as far as I know, it will be seen by the what they call it, the little government agencies. You can't have a specific black school.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Right? I've heard that. Is that true?
You can't have it.
That's
That
not
the
true, I
government.
don't think.
Well, the government won't fund it. Something like that. You can't
no,
have a
Stone,
specific
Stone, you got
black
stop
school
from doing that.
because it would be exclusion and
It's
stuff
a
like
public
that.
funded thing. It needs to be
Right?
accessible
Yeah,
for the public.
And
you can't-
specifically black schools,
Yeah,
as far as
but-
I know.
He was only helping.
I think you can.
Yeah,
No, I'm
Japanese
saying
schools,
it's
there's-
exclusive.
But it's funded by the community.
giving
It's
out
not-
scholarships to
There's
only
Jewish
black.
schools, you get me?
Yeah.
And they told they
Go on.
told him.
But are they funded by the government?
No, they're not though, because they're public.
Yeah. But
They're private schools.
No, but you're asking
No,
if
but
they're,
it's
if they're
America,
funded by the
bro.
government.
I'm
Government
I'm
fund the
saying
public
if
schools, so it
they're
has to be accessible.
right.
If it's
What I'm
private,
saying
then
is,
yeah.
whatever
private,
you're
private,
mentioning, I'm saying to you, when you mention this to brother,
was that
whatever
all
he
black?
wants to establish,
And the
how is
Nation
that?
of Islam have their own school as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They
But
do.
it's self-funded.
But has any white person said I want to join and listen to the white man's the devil in their school?
What does it matter?
So I'm saying, so they don't need to say no whites allowed because no really white people wants to hear how the black man's God, do they?
I don't know about
Which white parent is going to say go to a school where you're going to hear the white man's the devil and the black man? Exactly. So you don't need to say nothing.
Well,
You just said you there coming
content that's
murmuring.
beneficial to the African or black community. That's it. Once you make the content that, then you're going to hopefully get that kind of people coming your way.
Okay.
Yeah, but wait, one sec, yeah. To have a school, yeah, if you have a black school, wouldn't it be even better to have non-black students? Because now man's teaching them. Now they learn.
No.
Because like, say for example, yeah, like in the schools right now, yeah, like a lot of like black history is not being taught and yeah. But now, if man's controlling the school, and now you've got people from these other groups, now man's able to now control the narrative.
Maybe later on down the line, but
Black people are so.
Content over everything. From your melody.
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to
Far
ITV.
behind, those practices cannot work. Let me give you an example. In America, right, you had where there were black people trying to get rights to votes, right? But what happened? They gave them minority votes, right? Meaning that minorities can get all these benefits, right? So black people set out, they got dog sick on them to get these rights, but it was given to minorities. What is a minority? A minority is a woman, a lesbian, a person in a wheelchair, an Indian, yeah. So when it comes to people in power giving out these treats, whatever it is, who are they going to pick? Is a rich white man going to pick